The 2026 World Cup knockout stage. This is where dreams are either realized or completely shattered, where a single mistake can haunt a nation for generations. Throughout this tournament, we've watched giants of the game stumble. We've watched heavyweights struggle with their identity, and superstars buckle under the immense weight of an entire country's expectations. The pressure of the global stage is absolutely suffocating. But then there's Spain. While the rest of the footballing world is desperately trying to survive the sheer chaos of knockout football, the Spanish national team is operating on a completely different frequency. They aren't just surviving. They are executing a masterclass. They are turning the highest stakes matches on the planet into their own personal exhibition games. When the lights are brightest, most teams shrink. They play it safe out of fear. But this current version of Spain, they mutate into an entirely different beast. And if you want proof of just how ruthless this machine has become, you don't need to look very far. Because what Spain just did to Austria should scare everyone. Not because they won. Everyone expected them to win. It should scare you because of how they won. 3-0. No drama. No panique. Austria didn't lose this game. They were dismissed like a team that was never really allowed to play. And here's the number that tells the whole story. In 90 minutes, Austria did not register a single shot on target. Not one. The last time a team was shut out that completely in a World Cup knockout match was Germany in the 2014 final against Argentina. That's the company Spain is keeping right now. This one sent them into the round of 16, and it was their first World Cup knockout victory since 2010, the year they won the whole thing. But the story isn't just this match. It's the pattern. Spain have now gone 5 games without conceding a single goal. Unai Simon has set the record for the longest clean sheet streak in World Cup history. 5 matches, 0 goals against. In attack, they finally showed their teeth. Oyarzabal opened the scoring in the first half, finishing off a move started by Cucurella. Then Pedro Porro headed in his first ever goal for his country. And late on, Oyarzabal struck again to make it 3. It was the first time Spain scored more than 2 goals in a men's World Cup knockout match since 1994. And behind all of it sits a streak most teams can only dream of. Excluding penalty shootouts, Spain are now on a 35-match unbeaten run, equaling the record set by the legendary Spanish side that ruled world football from the late 2000s into the early 2010s. This is not a team getting lucky. This is a team quietly becoming the most dangerous side in the tournament. And the scariest part? They haven't even hit their peak yet. Because there's one player who makes this Spain team truly terrifying. And he's 18 years old. Lamine Yamal. Forget the goals and assists for a second, because that's not where his impact lies. His impact lives in something you can't teach: fearlessness. Look at how this tournament started for him. He came into the World Cup carrying a hamstring injury, barely fit. In the opening game against Cape Verde, he only came onto the pitch in the 71st minute. 19 minutes of football. And in those 19 minutes, he attempted more dribbles than any other player on the entire pitch. 5 dribbles. Coming off the bench. Injured. That is not normal. That is a teenager who looks at the biggest stage in football and feels nothing but hunger. Against Saudi Arabia, he made his first World Cup start and flew out of the blocks. 5 shots, 2 on target, 90% pass accuracy, and Spain had him substituted at halftime simply because the game was already won. He didn't need to be protected. He needed to be rested. Against Austria, he hit the post, forced corners, and stayed on the pitch until the 85th minute. Pulled off only when victory was completely secure. Now think about what he does at club level. For Barcelona, Yamal has 41 goals and 38 assists in 138 games, with over 900 touches inside the opposition box. He is a creator and a finisher at the same time, and he's doing it before his 19th birthday. Pep Guardiola said something about him that stuck with me. He said Yamal has the maturity of a player of 24 or 25. He drops off, plays one touch, rests, beats his man over a short distance, and then wins you the match. That's not hype. That's the best manager in the world describing a teenager. Here's the truth about this Spain team. The defense is a wall. The unbeaten run is historic. And the most creative player in the squad is an 18-year-old who plays without fear. Spain aren't just favorites. They're building something that looks unstoppable. And Lamine Yamal is only getting started. But to truly understand why this Spain team is terrifying, we have to look at the rest of the world. Look around the 2026 World Cup landscape. We are seeing heavyweights crumble under the pressure. We've talked on this channel about the identity crisis plaguing the Netherlands. We've analyzed why Brazil is still struggling to capture that ultimate glory, even when it matters most for Neymar. And we've seen how the German national team completely lost its way. And yet, in the middle of all this chaos and tragedy, Spain has found absolute clarity. This isn't the Spain of the past. For a while, Spanish football suffered from what you could call the Tiki-Taka Paradox. They would pass the ball 1,000 times, hold all the possession, but look completely toothless when it actually mattered. But this 2026 version, they have evolved. They have hacked the system, much like France did in their dominant years. They still keep the ball, but now there is a vicious, direct edge to their game. Think about the psychological toll this takes on a team. When you step onto the pitch against this Spanish side, you aren't just playing against 11 men. You are playing against a historic 35-match unbeaten armor. You are playing against a goalkeeper in Unai Simon who simply refuses to be beaten, holding the longest clean sheet streak in World Cup history. And you are playing against the looming shadow of an 18-year-old prodigy who can tear through defenses as if it's just a training session. When teams get desperate against Spain, they leave spaces. And when you leave spaces for Pedro Porro, Oyarzabal, or Yamal playing with absolutely zero fear, you get dismantled. Just ask Austria. While teams are busy panicking about Yamal, they are forgetting the rest of the machine. The midfield suffocates you. The wingers stretch your defense to its breaking point. If Yamal is the scalpel, the rest of the team is a sledgehammer. For the teams waiting in the quarterfinals and beyond, this isn't just a tactical problem anymore. It's a terrifying reality. What they did to Austria, completely shutting them out without a single shot on target, was just the beginning. It was a warning shot, a brutal reminder that this Spain team isn't here to just participate. They're here to conquer. And if this is what they do before they even hit their peak, the rest of the tournament might already be playing for second place. But what do you guys think? Is this Spain team truly unstoppable? Or is there a nation left that can finally crack their historic defense? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to drop a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Because here at Emic Football, we know that football isn't just a game. It's drama, tragedy, and glory. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.